What's good, y'all? It's been a while. I know I say that all the time in every single live that I do, but hey, man, I'm right now trying to work around things that I gotta do, and figuring out a lot of other stuff, man. It is what it is, but we could chop it up about some boxing right now. We got Alexander Povetkin versus Dillian Whyte this Saturday, I think, which is why I'm gonna make my prediction right now. Check the emails. Oh yeah, we got some cards that happen this Saturday. Oh yeah. You got Amanda Serrano fighting too, in women's division. It's a good fighter. But we could talk about what's gonna happen in this fight. The other day, yesterday, I don't know if you guys don't know. Well, obviously you don't know, but I just got a new phone and I was basically trying to record a video yesterday giving out my fight week breakdown and prediction of Dillian Whyte versus Alexander Povetkin. But then all of a sudden, my phone says that it has too much memory. And I'm like, what? You know? So I don't know, man. I guess I downloaded like a lot of apps on it and stuff. And yeah, some bullshit. But hey, we're going to keep it going though. Because at least I got the StreamYard and I got my device right here. So let's do it. And what I was talking about in that video was Dillian Whyte's perspective, of how he's going to come into the fight. And that whole idea, that whole concept of like fighters not being mentally on point after like a knockout loss, like what happened back in August. And I was talking about that, you know what I mean? And basically, what I was talking about with Dillian Whyte was where he was at mentally. And I don't know where the hell he's at mentally, man, because like I hear a bunch of stuff like, oh, he's training, very hard and all that. I mean, that sounds good and all because like Dillian Whyte was actually doing well in the Povetkin fight, you know what I mean? Like, and then all of a sudden, that freaking lead uppercut and everything. And shout out to Black and Brown Boxing in the chat. How's it going? How's it going? Chopping it up. Doing some boxing talk right now. Well, obviously the fight we break down and prediction, but I was saying, like with Dillian Whyte, man, like, man, every time that I make a prediction on Dillian Whyte, it always goes a certain way that I didn't expect it. You know what I mean? Like, I picked Joseph Parker against Dillian Whyte, and then Dillian Whyte ended up winning, and it basically led me to believe that Dillian Whyte had a chance against Alexander Povetkin. And I know that Povetkin was getting old, you know what I mean? And the thing is, Povetkin has pedigree. And I mentioned that in my video, and I emphasized on it. He's a gold medalist. He has a good resume at heavyweight, compared to the contenders and all of them. Even though it's not like the same as like a 1990s contender list, but still, it's good enough, because he fought people in the early 2000s, the 2010s, and then somewhat in the 2020s. Well, I think it was only one fight, which is Dillian Whyte. But still, Dillian Whyte is like a very top contender, very highly ranked up there in the heavyweight division at the time. And he was in line for a title shot. And I'm not going to get into that whole mess and stuff because we don't talk about that on our channel, because that segues into gossip and everything. So I'll leave that up for other discussions. You know what I mean? But the thing is, man, like Dillian White always to me like looked as if he was deteriorating, from like all those knockdowns, because like every time that he fought a decently hard puncher, he would always get knocked down. He got knocked down against Joseph Parker. I mean, he's not really a hard puncher at all. Like he's more so moderate. He's got a sneaky power in there somewhere, like like in his hooks. But the thing is, man, Dillian White has like bad defense, and horrible footwork. I gotta say, man, that's some pretty horrible footwork. I'm not gonna lie. And he got knocked down against Oscar Rivas. Everyone remembers that, and he still dominated that fight too. So uh, we could at least like make consider keep that into consideration, basically. So the thing is, man, like Dillian White, I don't know, like if he's gonna make some type of major game plan. You know what I mean? Like with how he's gonna approach the fight. Is he gonna go guns blazing against Povetkin in the first quarter rounds, or is he gonna do the same approach as he did last time and try to take it to distance? Because something tells me, man, that if he wants to be very careful, he's probably gonna try to take it to distance, and box like cautiously, like very, very cautiously behind like a jab, kind of similar to how he was doing against Oscar Rivas. But this time he's probably going to keep the output low, or he's just going to go for broke, against Povetkin. And Povetkin, the thing is, man, Povetkin was landing a lot of good shots on Dillian White. Like a lot of people say body shots wear you out. Well, so do the headshots, believe it or not. All of that movement, like you don't see like the impact of a punch when the fighter takes it, and like the way that their head moves around, almost like a bobblehead and stuff. That really tires you out a lot. And I know because I was sparring a lot, and all the time, man, it wasn't just like the body shots. There's like a lot of movement fatigue, mental fatigue, and then a bunch of shots landing to your head, and that causes a lot of fatigue too. Because like at the end of the day, you're losing water throughout those entire rounds and stuff. So uh, the thing is, man, like Povetkin can do a lot of stuff that people don't realize that he can't do. Well, that he really didn't show against Dillian White, that much. Because, like, I mean, the thing is, like, he could make like a different game plan if he wanted to, but against Dillian White, man, like how else is he going to change his game plan? Because Dillian White fights like a certain way and stuff. Lands the left hook, fights with the jab, stick and move. Well, I mean, with his bad footwork, but that's probably what I think caught him in the first place, besides being stationary, with that high guard and everything. That was a big mistake for Dillian White standing in front of Povetkin like that. And Povetkin still hasn't landed that left hook on Dillian White cleanly. That's the worrying part about it. I mean, the thing is, like Povetkin, he can land any type of left shot, lead shot very powerfully, because that's like his most powerful hand. But he also has a good right hand too. So Dillian White really, really shouldn't like go for broke just like that, because if he does, like Povetkin can just like counter him, or he could go into a swarm, like he just like lets Dillian White tire out, because like Povetkin still has like a lot of energy in those first quarter rounds, and it would be like counterintuitive for like Dillian White to actually try and take him out in those particular times, or even like launch some type of offensive attack. So the thing is, like, he's also changed a lot of his training team. He shifted a lot, and he included somebody from the past who worked with Lennox Lewis after one of his knockout losses. I think it was with Oliver McCall. I forgot the person's name, but Lennox Lewis was had him on his training team at the time. So I could tell that there's some type of idea behind Dillian White trying to come back from this loss, kind of similar to how Anthony Joshua did, against Andy Ruiz. But the thing is, like, I never seen like Dillian White box like exactly how I would picture him to box like Anthony Joshua, did in the rematch against Andy Ruiz. So the only thing going for him would be offensively, doing basically what he did in the last fight, except be more defensive, incorporate a lot more movement and just be a lot more athletic this time around. And this is a very close fight, believe it or not, because like 50, it's 50-50 for me because I'm at that point where I don't really want to predict Dillian White fights anymore because I have like a bad record with Dillian White fights. And when I do pick him, he ends up losing, with Povetkin. So, oh, man, I'm probably going to have to lean towards Dillian White. I hate to say it, I don't feel safe with that pick at all. But it is what it is, because I think Dillian White is a lot more younger, and he knocked down Povetkin several times in that last fight. We're not going to forget that, And the thing is, the first 3 rounds are going to be very interesting, whether how to see like how Dillian White approaches it. So I might pick Dillian White by, I want to say, yeah, late knockout, like in the 10th round. I was thinking a decision, but I think it's going to end in a late knockout because Povetkin could end up tiring by then, because Povetkin does have some uh, issues with stamina, Like we've seen that in fights before he even started to get older in these, like before Joshua, before Dillian White, because Dillian White still hasn't like done any type of did any type of physical work with Povetkin in the first fight, where he could like clinch him and just basically make him even more tired, like that, lean on him and stuff. So I could actually see that happening in this time around, with Povetkin, and something similar to how he did against Oscar Rivas, but this time he's going to make it a lot more debilitating for Povetkin, and he's not just going to be like what the heck? I don't know if you guys could hear me because it seems like a connection. Okay, yeah, we're back. We're back. All right, so yeah, I'm picking Dillian White to win by 10th round stoppage. I don't feel safe about it. I nearly picked Povetkin, and it really wouldn't surprise me if Povetkin knocked him out this time. But I'm going for the younger guy who probably has better experience at this point, of his career than Povetkin at this point of his career, dealing with like later rounds and stuff. So Dillian White to win by late stoppage. Yeah, pretty much. So what else is going on in boxing? I mean, a lot of controversial stuff, I mean, not controversial, but it's a lot of gossipy mess and stuff. So I'm not even gonna go in on that. But Canelo versus Saunders. Let's talk a little bit about that. I mean, we talked about it in the last stream that I did like weeks ago. So I don't know, but we'll talk about it later anyway. So appreciate y'all stopping by. I just wanted to give you guys my prediction and catch you guys on the next one. Peace.